And visualize with me real quick. Let's say it's a man up there or a woman, whatever, and they have a chart. And when you're born, they say David Goggins, born February 17th, 1975 at 6 a.m. They write the chart down because they can see everything. They know exactly what you're fucking supposed to be. They know what you're supposed to be. You die, you go to so-called heaven. You arrive at heaven, I'm 300 pounds. I retired as an Ecolab guy, which is okay. It's just a job, whatever. I go up there and God looks at me and he shows me my chart. And my chart on there says you were supposed to be a Navy SEAL. You're supposed to weigh 185 pounds. You're supposed to be one of the smartest people on the planet, this, all this. You see this. And now you're in heaven, you made it to heaven, but you're like, God, Doug, I was supposed to live that life. I was supposed to live that life. I believe that when I'm all said and done with, my whole job is to outwork the chart. Whatever the fucking chart says about me, the all-knowing power up there, I want to get up there and say, him look at me and say, I know everything. I didn't fucking see this.
You can see that this is my book here. It's got like shit in the pages and stuff because it's been used so much. Probably read it about maybe 5 times now. Before the book was recommended to me, I'd never heard of David Goggins before. I wasn't in the best place at the time. I remember I got something like 47% on my maths prelim and I was also in a pretty toxic relationship. Prior to starting school again, the summer was mostly spent indoors, playing Xbox until 3 a.m, drinking alcohol in my bedroom, alone. I didn't work out consistently either, and I also did not have any goals to work towards. Around the start of 2021, around the second lockdown in Scotland, I decided to pick up a copy of the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins as it was recommended to me by my teammate. Having not read a book since primary school, I decided to pick up a copy as something else to do than watch Netflix and play Xbox all night. Little did I know the impact that this book would have in my life. I'm going to share with you the 3 most important things I learned from the book and also some things that you can take into your own life as well. To sum up the book briefly, David grew up in the shadow of his father who punished his family both physically and mentally. David's mother managed to escape with David and move to their grandparents' house in Brazil, Indiana. They thought leaving David's father would be a fresh start, but it was actually only the beginning of something much worse as David suffered countless cases of prejudice and racism and discrimination during his school years, and he was also labelled as being a special needs kid, which traumatizes people for the rest of their lives. Fast forward a few years, David is now £300 working for a company called Ecolab and spraying for cockroaches in fast food chains at night. One night while working, he decided that enough was enough. This was not the person that he wanted to be anymore. He always had dreams of being a Navy SEAL. And when he went home that night, he explains that seeing Navy SEALs on the TV was a catalyst for the beginning of his journey. When David phoned up the recruitment office for the Navy SEALs, he was hit with a cold truth that he had to lose £106 in 3 months. He managed to lose £106 in 3 months and went on to enlist in the Navy. He went for 3 hell weeks during Navy SEAL, which is a week where you're pushed to your physical and mental limits by being given very little sleep, very little food, and intense training for a full week straight. David went on to become a Navy SEAL and served for almost 2 decades. He also graduated from Army Ranger School as top enlisted man. David's achievements don't just stop there though. He went on to break the pull-up record in 2013 with 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours after 2 failed attempts. He also runs ultramarathons and has competed in a race called the Badwater 135 several times, which is a race through Death Valley in the summertime. You'll probably recognise David now from the clips or the TikTok edits that you see of him usually running. He'll be calling out people or he'll be saying a lesson that he maybe learned. So the first thing that I learned from the book was I had to start trying harder in the things I was doing. I found it easy to make the easy decisions like sit back and enjoy some Netflix or play some Xbox rather than focus on the work I'd be doing. Like I've always been that kind of person to leave all the work to the last minute, especially homework, if I even did it at all. I wasn't working towards any specific goals, but I always knew I wanted to be successful. So I decided to set myself some goals. So I started with school. At the time, I needed good grades to get into the university course that I wanted to do. I had achieved good grades in the prelims, which was like the mock exams, but I failed maths by 3%. So I set that as my first goal. My first goal was literally to pass maths. A simple goal spoken out loud, but I decided to dissect it into small parts. There was about 8 or 9 subtopics in maths, can't remember any because it's been that long ago. I'd spend about 45 minutes each night going over the topics that I really wasn't sure about while spending less time on the ones I did know about. This meant that I built up a good understanding of the maths course in the space of about 3 to 4 months. It wasn't an overnight change I made. It was the accumulation of many nights of studying maths that really got me from that D to the A. Another goal that I set myself was to be stronger for basketball because I was moving up in age group from the under 16s to under 18s and I didn't want to be bullied around as I was in under 16s because of my strength. I set a workout plan which progressively got harder as stronger and more fitter I got. I started with the most basic 7-minute workouts that you get on your phone. Like, you know, like the app you get on your phone and it's like 7 minutes, like the really easy ones. Well, now I can find them easy, but back then that's like I had to start from somewhere. I moved on to doing 20-minute workouts using dumbbells as well instead of my own body weight to build up the intensity and the level of difficulty of the exercises. Although there are probably more effective ways to train, these are the ones that worked for me. This is more of a realistic standpoint. I found these to be challenging and it also helped me to create a routine as I was able to schedule in runs in the morning, workouts in the afternoon after school and yoga at night. A lot of us have very vague goals like want to get more money or want to get stronger or look better or lose weight. Trying to make an overnight change in lifestyle probably won't work as if you've been doing the same thing over and over again for a number of years, then it's not going to take the snap of a finger to change the way your life works. An example, for me right now, I'm looking to gain 6 kilograms of weight. So what I'm doing is I'm eating foods that align with my calorie goals and staying away from foods that are maybe lower in calories or just are not, or high in sugar and fat and stuff. Going back to the book, David was faced with the challenge of losing 106 pounds in 3 months, as I previously said. There was also the crushing reality that if he didn't lose this weight, then his Navy SEAL dreams would be gone forever. He created a grueling workout routine that consisted of hundreds of reps in the gym, hours on the bike as well, and he also ate very little food so he could get down to that weight that he wanted to be. This discipline whipped David's body and mind into shape for joining the Navy SEALs. The second thing I learned from the book was to break down self-limiting beliefs. A self-limiting belief is the assumption or belief that you have about yourself or someone else or just the way the world is. I used to think that everybody was better than me because they had nicer clothes or a nice house or because they had both parents living in the house. A lot of people compare themselves in terms of materialistic things like clothes and money. The thing is, these beliefs can either stop you from doing anything at all and giving up, or it can be the driving force for you to make your own change in your life. I decided to stop putting my attention outwards and focus it inwards and control the things that I would be doing in my life. Focusing on the things that you can control and putting your time and effort into such things is much more time efficient and smarter than putting it on the things that you cannot control. Instead of feeling down when I looked at people with stronger bodies or people that just looked stronger, had like nice definition in their muscles, I worked out to make mine look better. Instead of seeing people on Instagram with new clothes or doing nice things, I worked in some ways to make some money and also just doing things like going out, enjoying myself, being in the moment, having a good time with my friends. I'm no Andrew Tate, but I do believe that having maybe a source of income other than a job is a good idea.
But if you're my friend, you just can't be a pussy. Well, I had a heart attack. Get the fuck up. The fuck's wrong with you?
It's clear from David's story that he shattered all of his self-limiting beliefs. He was fat, poor, and suffered from his childhood trauma. Some ceilings were smashed when he became a Navy SEAL. Also the fact that he runs ultra marathons like it's just a Sunday morning run in a park. If you think you can't be the person that you want to be, you're doing yourself a massive disfavour. The third thing that I learned from the book was the importance of exercise. Well, David doesn't recommend any workouts or routines in his book. There's a very good 45-minute rooftop workout that I'll link in the description below. There are countless studies and videos on the relationship between mental health and physical health. David used working out as a way to develop his mind, harden it, callous his mind. By doing workouts that sound more like medieval torture methods. It includes running up to 100 miles per week, biking for 200 miles a week, and again, going in the gym and doing over 100 to 200 to 300 reps. You probably will not engage in exercise this way. There are many proven benefits of working out. If you haven't started working out yet, that's completely fine. Start small like I did. Even dropping down to do 5 push-ups today, or maybe developing up to 6 tomorrow, to 8 the next day, to 10. Doing yourself a massive favour. I often find that you notice the results yourself first, but when others make comments or say that they see the improvements that you've made in your body, you cannot help but feel proud. Just remember to progressively overload your working out, so make it harder each time, maybe adding more weight, going from 3 kilogram dumbbells to 5 kilogram dumbbells, or increasing the length of working out to maybe 15 minutes to 20 minutes, or maybe doing like push-ups for 45 seconds instead of doing it for 30, or crunches or something like that. Just a wee side note as well. I found that reading the book also helped me to concentrate a bit better and focus more, so I did decide to get some more books as well. I actually found that you learn more from reading books than you do from sitting in class for a whole year. Reading has also helped me learn about the things I'm interested in, also things I know nothing about, such as the doping story of Lance Armstrong or the turbulent season of the 1992 to 1993 Chicago Bulls. If you don't pick up David Goggins' book, I still recommend that you pick up a book of something you're interested in. To conclude, this book can potentially change the way you see life. It's no wonder that David Goggins is often labelled as the hardest man on the planet. Having said that, not all the things that he managed to accomplish might be the same things that you want to accomplish. For those saying, but no, I don't want to run 100 miles. I don't want to be a Navy SEAL, woo! If you think like that, the book probably is not for you. Seeing a story as challenged and as inspiring as David's will inspire you to try harder and adapt lessons and knowledge from the book into your own life, so to become a better person. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, as this is a fairly new thing that I'm doing. See you guys next time.